Hey, fourth grade, I'm back. So we're going to review just a little bit, and then you have 2 more workbook pages for reading, and then you're done for the week. And then next week, as I stated in the first video, that we'll start a new story next week. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what it means to hold the reins. And it says, what is the literal or obvious meaning of hold the reins? And remember, Uncle Henry had let Elizabeth Ann hold the reins, and that meant to drive a horse and wagon by holding the actual reins, right? Now, I want to ask you, what is the symbolic meaning of hold the reins? And that's just another way of saying that someone wants to be in control. So you're holding the reins. I'm holding the reins over my classroom. I'm in control. And then what is the symbolic meaning of the selection title? And all that means is Elizabeth Ann begins to take control, and she begins to make decisions for herself for the very first time. And that's all that means. Let me see. I think there might have been another question or so. Let me get down here to the right page. Bear with me while I move my screen over a little bit. Okay. Okay, so which supporting characters in the selection have prevented Elizabeth Ann from taking control? This was before she had moved to Putney Farm. This was Aunt Harriet and Aunt Frances, okay? Has this been good for Elizabeth Ann? Do you think? If they prevented Elizabeth Ann from taking control, do you think that was good? Probably not, because they kept her from learning and growing. Let's see. And then which supporting characters in the selection Betsy holds the reins have helped Elizabeth Ann to take control? Uncle Henry and Aunt Abigail, right? And how will being in control change Elizabeth Ann? There's a couple answers. She will gain confidence, be able to think for herself. She will learn new things on her own, which would make her overall more happier, right? How many of you, and this is one reason Mrs. Connor does a lot of projects in school, which I miss doing. I had like 2 more. I had a review game that was going to be really good for social studies made that I'll have to wait and use next year, I guess. And I had like a couple of more projects because you guys learn more when you are making things hands-on and doing the research and doing the projects with your friends. And I'm missing that terribly, and I hope you are too. So yeah, that's why I like to, even as a parent, I like to make sure I'm letting Kevin do things on his own. It may not be the way I do it, but he has to learn just like you have to learn certain ways to do things. Okay. So, the next thing you need to do is complete page 89 and 90 in your workbooks. And I'm adjusting my page so I can give you the directions here a little bit. Excuse me. Sometimes a story title is a symbol. This means that it has more than one meaning, like we just talked about. The literal meaning of the title describes what actually happens in the story, but the title may also have a symbolic meaning that helps us to understand an important idea in the story. So they want you to complete the chart. And they are giving the examples of the story we read before that, Januar's Bridge and Betsy Holds the Reins. So those are the 2 titles they want you to use in this workbook page. And then they want you to give the literal meaning for Januar's Bridge and then the symbolic meaning for Betsy Holds the Reins, which we reviewed here at the beginning of this video. At the bottom, mark 2 correct answers for each question. How many answers are you marking? 2. Good. Mark 2 correct answers. And then on page 90, let's see what you're to do here. Come on, computer, work for me. Read the chart using each root word write 2 examples of English words from the word bank. The first one has been done for you. So let's go ahead and look at the first one. It says the Latin or Greek root of, so CYCL, so cycle from Greek. The meaning is a circle or ring. The English word is cycle. And then English words would be bicycle and tricycle. Let's go ahead and do the next one together. This is kind of a little tricky if you're not sure. They have the word graph from Greek. The meaning is to write. And then your English word says autograph. So some English words may be graphic and telegraph. So graphic, telegraph. And you have the graph root word from Latin or Greek in that word. So you have graph in graphic and graph in telegraph. So now you just have to do the next 4 on your own. I think you should be able to do that okay. It can be kind of tricky. If you have any questions or you need help with page 90, just shoot me a message on Google Chats or an email or a video call me if you need. That's fine too. If you need help doing that workbook page. If not, I will see you guys next week to start a new story. Bye for now.